Ah. And the camera's off tilt. Alright, definitely one of those days. Good morning, happy Saturday, everyone. It's a beautiful day. It's going to shape up to be a beautiful weekend. I'm actually really excited. Let's see. Where do I begin? Well, I guess you just simply do my low, my high, my act of kindness. Let's see. You know what? Both my low and my high are intertwined. Because yesterday, okay, well, a bit of backstory. My schedule has been so crazy that one thing I haven't been able to do is go to any Horseheads Softball games. So yesterday, Latitude 42 was going to be televising the softball game of Binghamton University against Oklahoma in the NCAA tournament. Now you're probably wondering, what does that have to do with Horseheads softball? Because there's a Horseheads alumni who is playing for Binghamton right now. Honestly, I figured this was the closest I'd get to seeing any Horseheads softball game, for being honest. And just going to Latitude 42 Taphouse is always a real treat. There was a bunch of people there watching the game. It was a lot of fun. Like, that was my high. Of course, my low is the fact that Binghamton lost. Such is life, I suppose. Don't worry, this is the type of tournament where, it's double elimination, and it actually is possible for Binghamton to, come back and win the entire thing, but they would need to beat Oklahoma twice, and yesterday Oklahoma beat them 11-0. Yeah. Not pretty. But, and not to mention, the girl who was from Horseheads, like, she's only a freshman there. Like, by the time she's a senior in college, provided that, she stays healthy and, works hard and makes good choices, it's going to be insane by the time she's a senior. So, sky's the limit. And that's really cool. But yeah, it was actually a really fun experience. Just love seeing people there. Not to mention, the Horseheads softball coach owns Latitude 42 Taphouse as well. So, yeah. And there was at least one Horseheads softball player there watching. So, at the end of the day, pretty much as close as I'm going to get. But it was actually a lot of fun. Latitude 42 Taphouse is always is a really nice place. I highly recommend people go. And it's also dog friendly. Oh my god. Okay, let me do my act of kindness and I'll talk more about it. So, actually my act of kindness was shortly after I watched the game, I went shopping with my parents. I helped them pick out stuff. Because, it was some nice family time. And of course, okay, here's the thing. Like, I'm very well aware that I look very tired a lot, but that's because I really am so busy with work and such, and as well as wanting me to do a good job. And my mom is worried, and yeah, I get it. But for real, it really is just because I've hardly ever, like, here's the thing. Last night, I definitely got better sleep than usual. I would still say it wasn't the greatest. So, please bear with me. I swear everything's fine. I just don't really sleep very well. I don't know. It's just like, It's a combination of several things. Like, again, I'm definitely that kind of person who's worried he's not going to wake up in time, even with an alarm. Temperature is always a thing. Like, for real, they only just turned on the air conditioning in my apartment building. So, that actually led to better sleep, I think. Still not the greatest, but definitely better than usual. But yeah, it just bothers. Here's the thing. I mean, here's the thing. I'm the kind of person where I really do try not to let depression get the better of me, because I do have depression. But every time I see like my mom concerned about me, it kind of takes steam out of the engine, you know? But again, everything's fine. I just haven't been getting very good sleep. That's okay though. I like to entertain the masses. So anyway, I gotta talk about the experience of Latitude 42. So I mentioned that it's dog friendly, and this one guy brought in two black giant schnauzers. They were so cute. Oh my gosh! And like, seriously, giant schnauzers are huge. And you know, I have to say, like, if you see my videos and you know that, like, here's the thing, I don't really have any aspirations of owning a dog at this point in my life. But if I ever did want a dog, my number one dog of choice would be a Newfoundland dog. Just because they're so big and fluffy. And giant schnauzers, they're obviously not as big as a Newfoundland dog. But, you know, same color fur, only like curlier. They were just so cute and energetic too. Like, and again, they're big dogs. There was two little kids there that are like 3 years old maybe. Oh, like one's 3. There was like one 3-year-old and one 3-year-old boy and one little girl that was like a year and a half old, which is no kidding the same age as like the 2 dogs that I'm talking about right now. And those kids could ride those dogs like horses. Like, that's how big giant schnauzers are. But they were so cute. I love animals, what can I tell you? So that was fun. If you don't know, Latitude 42 Taphouse is it's a pay to pour type of place. There's a beer garden, I believe it's called, and there's also wine too you can get, where you give them your debit card, and they give you a little card that you take over to the beer selection, tap the card onto you tap the card onto your choices of beer. You take a mug from the wide selection of mugs and beer glasses that they have, and you know you serve yourself like a bar would serve you beer. You know, make sure the glass is at a 45-degree angle. Make sure that where the beer is coming out is hitting the glass, and you know, make sure that the beer isn't completely foamy and everything. And one thing that Latitude 42 likes to promote is beer cocktails, if you will. It's basically mixing like several different beers together to get a different combination. And yesterday I made myself a combination of black cherry cider and mimosa cider. That was actually really good. That was really good. So let's see, where was I? Sorry, like my phone keeps getting like hit with messages. Every time I see a message pop up on my phone, like I get distracted a little bit. I'm sorry. I got myself some food. Don't worry, I had food with me. So It's not like I just drank the beer wholesale. And here's the thing. Pay to pour sounds dangerous if, like, you're on a budget, obviously. Just close out when you got the beer that you want. It's not that hard. I mean, full disclosure, the beer, like, I had one beer, and usually when I get a beer at Latitude 42, it's usually somewhere in the neighborhood of between $5 and $7, because like different beers have different like price points and stuff. And again, this is New York State, New York State sales tax. So honestly, yesterday I get paid like $5.50 for this beer, which, I mean, it's maybe altogether like just over 8 ounces, I guess. Not a lot of beer, which, again, that's fine. I wasn't really looking for much anyway. It's just every time I go to Latitude 42, I gotta get myself, one beer, and I did. Just one. Only one. Again, because I actually have to drive. Seriously, like, I actually gotta drive from place to place. I mean, again, I like to believe, Bert Kreischer actually once said that alcohol should enhance one's life experiences, not define them. And that's actually really wise advice to live by. Again, I never really seek out, getting a drink. I mean, again, there's a wine tasting, or, I'll have a beer every now and again. I'll partake in that stuff. Just like yesterday, I just had one beer and that was it. That was it. So, yes, I may have my own fair share of problems, but alcohol is not going to be one of them. Not as long as I have anything to say about it. But yesterday was just really cool. Again, probably the closest I'm ever going to get to seeing a Horseheads Softball Game this year. I know. Kind of bummed about that. But you know what? I'm still going to come. You know what? Honestly, it's my 2026 bucket list. So what I say goes. And you know what? I mean, listen. The Horseheads softball coach owns Latitude 42. So the fact that he was there alone, and I'm there watching a softball game on TV, like a softball game featuring a Horseheads alumni. I mean, yeah, come on. And not to mention there was Horseheads people there watching the game too. Like, yeah, this counts. This totally counts. By the way, you also know obviously it's not, Raiders royal blue, but I wore blue for this video for this specific reason. Yeah, man, it was just really cool. And the cool thing is, the girl from Horseheads, her dad, her mom, and her sister were there in Oklahoma. Yeah, the game was in Oklahoma. And we got to see the dad and the sister on TV. It was actually really cool. And I took a few I was able to get a couple pictures of the dad and the sister on TV for proof. It was actually funny because a bunch of us took pictures of it and the dad was drinking a beer. That was actually really funny. I actually got a picture of him scratching his nose. But also, I was able to get a couple pictures of the Horseheads alumni in question. Like when she was just on camera with the camera pointing at her, and I was able to time this just right where she was up to bat and I was able to take the shot of her just as she hit the ball. Here's the thing, she was up at bat twice and she got out both times, but she hit they were good solid hits. It just happens that, they're the kind of hits where, a good softball player can defend against it and, force it out at first base or, catch a pop fly. But they were good hits. And keep in mind, this girl's only a freshman. she went from being a big fish in a small pond to being a big fish surrounded by other big fish. But since she's only a freshman, by the time she's a senior, like, she's going to be an apex predator in a place of other big fish. So, yeah, again, I said earlier, the sky's the limit for this girl. But it was actually a lot of fun. It was really nice seeing, getting to talk to people I haven't seen in a while. It was great. Shout out to Latitude 42 Taphouse for having the game and for the experience. Definitely, it's always a real treat to go and check it out. Shout out to the people I saw yesterday who at Latitude 42 Taphouse. You guys know who you are. I've got nothing else to say, man. Yesterday was awesome. So, you know what? I'll make the post later, but yeah, this counts. This counts as a Horseheads Softball Game in my eyes. Again, it's my 2026 bucket list, but don't worry. There is something I plan on doing that is softball that actually does sort of deal with softball that I plan on going to today. Maybe I'll take some pictures of that too. I hope you liked this video, and if you did, like and subscribe to the YouTube channel, follow me on social media. As always, I am very humble to make this video for all you guys to watch and enjoy for today, and hopefully you have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful Saturday. And remember, if any of you guys want to talk, the channel will be here to lend you. Always here back. Take care and make good choices. 607 all day, baby.